So now we're going to learn a bit more about how to draw shapes quickly. This is really going to get us started on the next few lessons when we're going to make logos. So again, we've got to open up the document called Creating Shapes, zoom to fit it. Now if you're drawing this rectangle, the easiest way is to go across to your control panel, grab the rectangle and simply follow that line. Now again, the quickest way to play around with that is to press V. You can have a play with it, get it nice and straight, pull it in and pull it out. That's up to you. Now when we've got a width and a height here measurement, the easiest way again is to go across to your square and click that, or you can simply click M, which is the shortcut. You click once and you can put in our width, which is 20 mils, and our height, which is 20 mils, and that creates that box. Press V to go back to your select tool to grab your box, and you can put that in there like so. So that's a good way of getting the most accurate, precise box, rather than using this method where you're going to be guessing and looking around like that. Okay, now the next shape across, the easiest way to do that is click your square, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Now that's made another square. If you put that on there, you've got your select tool. Now there's two ways of doing this. You've got your rotation tool there, you can guess it, or you go back to it there, press shift, hold shift, and just drag it down, and that will find each 45, so you can see it's automatically found that 45-degree angle. Now to get this to exactly fit in, you can use your arrow keys on your keyboard to move it around like so and play around with it. Now for the next one, it's pretty simple. Again, select your square, Ctrl C and then Ctrl V. Now you've got your new shape over here. Simply click on it, put it in your spot there. Now we've got our square there. I want you to select it, and then we're going to use a new tool here. So if we go over to our control panel, now we've got the pen tool, add anchor point tool, and the delete anchor point tool. So for this, we're going to delete anchor point tool, and you can also see there the shortcut, which is the minus, so that's always handy to remember. Now we're simply going to go over to our selected square that we've chosen, click on the anchor point, and as you can see, it's turned that square into more of a triangle shape. Now we're going to move down and use the ellipse tool. Now the ellipse tool works very similar to our square tool, except obviously we're working with circles now. You simply grab that, you can press the shift bar, you can make your circle just like you would. Now you can play around with that. Again, there's a slow way like that, or you can also, like I said, use the shift bar to get an accurate circle. You go V, so you go, and that's your selection tool. You're then dragging that, and you can play around with that to get a similar shape. So there you go. You now select it again, copy that, and then paste, which is Ctrl C and then Ctrl V, and then we're going to put that one there to begin our next task of making that half sphere. So now if you grab your select tool, it's V, select your square, and then you're going to go across and we're going to get the delete anchor point tool. You can also just press the minus on your keyboard. You're going to grab that anchor point there, can be a bit fiddly, and then that deletes that one anchor point, where they're going to press A, which is our direct selection tool. We're going to grab that toggle there and just bring it into that anchor point there, like so. And as you can see, it will try and play around with you. And then deselect off, so V, and then that's your half sphere there. Okay, so for the next one, just Ctrl V to change it, and then again, like we've learned before, simply put that in. Now I did that by selecting it, putting my arrow over a top corner and just rotating it like this. Now the next one, I need to make another sphere, so I simply just copied and pasted that. And I'm going to use my selection tool, which again is V on the keyboard, and I'm going to put it in that top corner there. So this next one we're going to learn is the free transform tool, or the perspective disorder mode. Now on your control panel, I'm going to highlight over here, it's called the free transform tool. So you can select that, or you press E, that's the shortcut. Now we've got a few options. We're going to choose this one here, which is the perspective distort, and then you're going to choose that. You're going to bring your mouse back over to this point here in the bottom, and we're just going to drag that out to form that shape there. Press V to click off, and then you've got your lying down sphere using the free transform perspective distort mode. Okay, so now we're going to learn about the star tool. The star tool is just where our rectangle tool and the ellipse tool has been. You just got to scroll down a bit further and find your star tool there. Now you just drag it out, make it to the size you want. Don't want to make two. Now you can use your arrows while pressing Shift to move your star around the page, so that just helps you to find out where you want to put it. So I'm going to put it there. Now remember guys, if you press Shift and you choose a toggle, you can scale the whole object, so that's a bit of an easier way rather than again using all points to try and get your object to fit. So that's the star mode. Okay, so for our next star, we're going to go back onto the star mode. We're just going to draw a star out, and you can see it says press up 7 times. So you can simply by pressing up on your keyboard, you can create the amount of points that you want. So we are going to bring that in. Add a few more points, selection tool, and then we're just going to drag it over. So for our next one, you can see that the stars points are actually a lot less in depth. So again, you just draw your star, but this time before you let go, hold down Control on your keyboard, and you can manipulate how deep the size of your points are going to be. So roughly about there. You've selected it. Go back to your selection tool. You can press Shift and you can scale that down and drag that into place. So that was just pressing Command while you've got the points. So you're pressing your star button, you're pressing Command. Okay, this time guys, we're going to use the free transform tool like we did earlier with the other distortion tool. So we're going to firstly go to our star control panel. This time just click once on the left of your mouse and you'll get up these radius, 2 radiuses and the number of points. So your first radius needs to be 20, your second needs to be 10 mil, and you need to have 5 points. That will create that star. press V on your keyboard and go to that selection tool, and you can press Shift to make it very similar to the shape that you want. Drag that over there. Now the next step, you're going back over to your control panel. You're going to go to the free transform tool. That's going to bring up this panel here on your template, and you just want to go to the bottom one, which is the free distort tool. Now that will bring up these little yellow circles, and you just want to manipulate your star until you get a shape that you desire, and then just have a play around with that. Okay guys, so now that we've learned a few shortcuts, it's going to start getting a lot easier. So for the polygon tool, you just got to go across to your control panel. Again, rectangle, rounded rectangle, then you got your polygon. You're just going to go like that, draw that out to the shape that you like. There you go. Press your V, which is your select button. You're able to move that into place there. To get that to scale, if you guys remember, you just press Shift down and you get your shape. Now as you can see, it says press down 3 times on this one to form a triangle, so you simply select your polygon tool again, draw out, and now while you're still holding the toggle with your left mouse, you just want to press down 3 times on your keyboard, and then you got yourself a triangle. Again, just press Shift, and that will enable you to go whatever size you like. Click off that with your selection tool, which is V, the shortcut, and you're able to move that into place. As we move along here, the last two here, you just have to go back to your polygon tool again, open it up. You've still got the triangle because it remembers the shape from the previous one, and you're just going to press up 2 times to form that shape there. Roughly get it the size that you want. Press V to get your selection tool, and then you can drag it into place. Oops. Now for our last one, guys, with the radius of the polygon, we're going to go our polygon tool, this time hold down, left, just click once. Now your radius you can put in is 15 millimeters, and you want 10 sides. You're just going to press OK or enter, and there you go. As easy as that. Go to your selection tool, which is V, and drag it into space there. So that's just an easy way, rather than trying to grab it and play with all the sides and press up and down on your thing on your keyboard. You've actually just got it, and that's a lot quicker way of doing it. Okay, so onto the last row now, guys. So we're just going to go our rounded rectangle tool in our control panel, and you're simply just going to go like that with your selection tool, which is V. Just make that a bit bigger there, get it to fit. Now the next one's pretty simple. As you can see, it says press and hold up, so you're simply going to make that shape, and with your keyboard arrows with it selected. So as you can see, with it selected, you can go while you've still got your finger on the toggle with your left hand on the mouse, left side button, you can just play around with the arrows and get that shape that you desire, like so. Then you can just click off with V. And finally, with our last one here, what we're going to do is go our rectangle tool, just press once, and you can see the dimensions. So your first one you want to have 65 millimeters, your height you want 7 mil, and your quarter radius is going to be 35. You're going to press OK, and that's simple. It's just going to make that shape there. So that's it for this worksheet. Just let us know if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to help you.